Hey guys, my name is Desiree. I'm the Housing Stability Specialist at the American Indian Family Center in St. Paul. Last week, there were some changes made to the Minnesota eviction ban. If you're struggling to pay your rent right now, please know landlords are still unable to evict you for non-payment of rent. But there are some changes that have taken place, and I want to make sure that you're aware of them. Beginning August 4th, 2020, landlords may file and execute evictions based on the following circumstances: significant damage to property, seriously endangering the safety of others, possession or sale of controlled substances, remaining in the property after the landlord has given proper notice that they or a family member is moving into the property, or remains in the property past the vacate date after receiving a notice to vacate, or non-renewal prior to the eviction moratorium. So this just means if you were served with paperwork right before the governor originally set the eviction moratorium in place early March, then your landlord does have the right to follow through with that eviction or writ. So let's clarify what this all means. Significant damage to property would include your rental unit. So within your apartment, anything that doesn't belong to you, cabinets, appliances, carpet, walls, paint, anything like that, damage to those things. Common areas would be your hallway, your elevator, mail room, fitness room, pool, if your building has it, all those sorts of areas that aren't necessarily your rental unit. And land attached to the property would include the lawn outside of the building, a fence, the parking lot, your garbage receptacle, whatever is attached to the actual apartment itself that's on the land owned by the apartment is considered land attached to that property. Seriously endangering the safety of others is sort of a broad term here, but also really basic kind of common sense things in communal living. So if you're causing a nuisance, meaning you're fighting with your roommate all the time, you're a smoker and you're flicking your butts onto the porch down below you, if you're leaving garbage in your hallway, just sort of in general causing issues in your apartment building. Obviously, if you assault another tenant, meaning you fight them, you get in their face, whatever the case may be. And if you threaten or harass another tenant, that could be verbally, physically, just in general. If there's a tenant in your building that feels your presence there is making them feel unsafe, then this could be grounds for eviction. Possession or sale of controlled substances on their property. So this can be found by your landlord if they're doing some sort of repair to your apartment and they come in and find something, if they are walking past your apartment and smell something, or they just in general see you using on the property, that is grounds for eviction, as well as the police being called to your property, whether that be by the landlord, by another tenant, and it's found that you have a controlled substance on the property. This can be grounds for eviction. So this is a new one: remaining in the property after the landlord has given proper notice that they or a family member is moving into the property. So proper notice is written notice, and typically 30 days prior to the lease ending, or one full rental period if you're on a month-to-month lease. This may change depending on what's outlined in your lease, but generally a 30-day notice is sufficient and proper notice. Remaining in the property past the vacate date after receiving a notice to vacate or non-renewal prior to the eviction moratorium. Now this only applies to tenants whose notice to vacate or of non-renewal was halted due to the peacetime emergency mid-March. Landlords must give 7 days notice prior to the filing, unless the eviction is due to possession or sale of illegal substances or the endangerment of tenants, which in this case would be an expedited eviction or writ of recovery and could be executed within 24 hours. Receiving a notice to vacate or of non-renewal during the peacetime emergency due to non-payment is a violation of the eviction moratorium. I just want to reiterate that landlords must give a minimum 7 days notice prior to filing an eviction. If you have been given a notice to vacate due to non-payment during the peacetime emergency, you may file a complaint with the Attorney General at the link below. During this time, I encourage everyone to continue to pay your rent if you are able, and to communicate with your landlord to develop a reasonable payment plan. Some resources for free legal help would be Homeline. They are a tenant advocacy group that gives free legal advice, and Smurls that also gives free legal advice. If you need financial help, I encourage everyone to connect with Ramsey County Emergency Assistance. You can use that twice a year now, and they are currently offering up to $5,000 in COVID-related expenses that accrued during this time. Minnesota Housing Finance Agency also has a list of resources at the link I have provided. If you or you know someone that needs assistance with a rent payment, a deposit, or utility payment, please reach out to the American Indian Family Center. We are a culturally specific organization and give priority to American Indian individuals and families. Here's my contact information. Again, my name is Desiree. I'm the Housing Stability Specialist, and I look forward to hearing from you guys.